conversations. The Situation Room. Witty, political, engaging, deep, controversial. In the room, we have C.T. Muga, researcher, academic, seasoned political observer, a fountain of wisdom in these politically uncertain times. Ndu Oko, Nigerian by birth, Kenyan by choice, communications expert, Pan-Africanist, a truth seeker and believer in people power, and Eric Latin, agent provocateur, the man in the chair, seasoned journalist, news hound, a man who believes in punching up, not down. This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
10 minutes after 9 on this 11th day of November 2024. It's 11:11. Yeah. So we've been talking about this for a while now. We've been talking about retirement and thinking about retirement and Taifa Pension Fund.
Well done.
Yeah. www.taifapensionfund.com. The fastest growing pension fund in the country.
Why fastest?
Because more and more people are becoming more and more clever. And they're saying, this is the way. This is the place. It has so many benefits for employers, so many benefits for employees. Because if your money goes into Taifa Pension Fund, let me tell you, for example, you as an employee, okay? Enhanced life insurance benefits. All members enjoy a death in service benefit of 3 times annual salary payable to beneficiaries, as well as critical illness, retrenchment, and permanent total disability benefit. This means if you die in service, and this is before, of course, your retirement age, you get what? 3 times annual salary payable to your beneficiaries.
Oh, wow. How nifty.
That's it.
Okay.
It's enhanced life insurance benefits, enhanced medical benefits. Members can save for medical needs and receive post-retirement medical cover from the CPF Post-Retirement Medical Fund. So as you're saving now, you can save into your post-retirement medical scheme. So once you retire, you are sorted medically. You don't have to start thinking now at that point when you don't have an income and you need to pay insurance premiums.
What are you going to
do? You paid your insurance when you were working. And now you are covered. Speedy payment of benefits. Within 14 days of you lodging a claim, your money comes. Not those ones over to you. Unajua nilikuwa nimekuja hapa tangu 6 months ago. Nimeambiwa ule mtu alikuwa hapa, alikuwa anaitwa Charles. Naambiwa ati alienda retire. Na mimi niko hapa niko retire. Yes, stories. You don't want those things. You do not want those things, okay? Yeah, taifapensionfund.com. Senor. Senor.
You know, it's funny, but my friend, when a retiree tells you that they're tales of war, those are my age mates, people who have gone to look for their money. Where? Where?
And you've retired and you've been contributing.
That's why you've gone to ask for the money, because you actually contributed.
You even have your records.
And you were told that when it gets to this time, you'll be able to get it. Then your problems begin.
Yeah, it's really painful. So for the next hour, let's have a conversation about active citizenship, right? And our guest this morning is an active citizen. Wairimu Mwangi is one of those who was in the case, the impeachment, regarding Gachagua impeachment cases in court, public interest litigation. And she's done very many other things. Wajiro, good morning.
Good morning. My name is actually Wanjiro Mwangi.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
I think there was a mistake.
Yes. I said Wairimu. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
It's Wanjiro Mwangi.
Yes.
I was reading Wairimu's comment.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, I read Wairimu, who's very active.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The limit of my knowledge of the language of Kikuyu, Nekewe.
Serious, that's it. Nekewe.
He has a lot more.
I think we're almost on the same page, so I think we're okay.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you today?
Very good.
Yes.
Welcome to the hot seat of the Situation Room.
Thank you so much. It's
Karibu
an
sana.
absolute pleasure to be here.
Feel at home.
Thank you.
Feel at home.
Yes.
Now, Ndu will tell you about Tala and the importance of Tala. You heard of Tala?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay.
I've been stuck in a jam.
Yes,
Sometimes
I
you need that like 2,000, 5,000, something.
Yeah.
Right? And you think, okay, where am I going? I've asked everybody, nobody has money. So Tala says, you know what? You don't need to do the helter-skelter. Come and talk to us. We can be your partner when you need to bridge. So it's bridging money, Here, do this. For a lot of people getting into a business whereby you need stock. do your stock, replace. Tala then gives you 61 days to pay back, with the interest, of course, but has become a real partner for a lot of folks over the last few years, and said, we can actually be that bridging partner for you when you need those extra funds. Do your business, pay it back, and continue to grow how much you're able to borrow.
Okay.
And, keeping your business private, keeping your information private, not going to go and broadcast to the world how, we borrowed 2,000 shillings kind of thing,
Yeah.
So keeping your business private and also helping you to get from one spot to the next when you need it. You can download it, download the app on your Google Play Store, and then get into borrowing and paying back with regularity. They'll be your partner for life.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right. What are the interest rates?
Abiro.
10%, something like that.
10%. Oh, that's not bad. Actually, that's quite good.
It's not bad.
And it's
You
instant?
talk to me. You're saying
Yes.
it's instant. The money comes to you instantly,
Oh, nice.
and you decide between 1 and 61 days.
Oh.
When are you gonna pay?
So they give you options.
Yeah.
Oh, so
You
that's quite good.
You choose.
Oh, that's really good then.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah. So
choose.
they don't tell you it's 30 days and it's,
Yeah.
And it's this percent. No.
So
Okay,
you
then
decide.
Yeah, that actually sounds very interesting.
I've
Thank you for
borrowed
that.
this today. I know I'm gonna get my money at the end of the week, so just say 5 days.
Really?
I'll pay within 5 days.
And okay.
And if you pay within 3 days, it's okay.
It's okay too.
So they don't charge you the other extra interest for the other 2 days.
No
Yeah.
hidden
days.
charges. No,
I
don't
think that's
know.
quite good then.
Yeah.
I will definitely download the app and try it.
Very good.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Yes.
City.
Hey,
Time for the proverb.
right. Our proverbs for today come from a country you may be familiar with. Yes, it borders the Indian Ocean.
That's a lot of countries.
I've just begun actually.
Okay.
Okay. So now, it's a process of elimination.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Let's do this.
It has several neighbors. One is Tanzania.
Okay.
Another one is Uganda.
Oh.
Another one is Southern Sudan. Another one is Ethiopia. Another one is Somalia.
Oh, is it Kenya?
Are you sure?
I hope so. Indian Ocean? And all those are our neighbors? I am pretty sure. I hope so.
I hope so.
Are we in Kenya?
Right now? No, not right now. Well, I hope so. Otherwise, it'll be a bit of a problem. We've been talking things all morning, the assumption that we're in Kenya.
I'm going to have to ask this question. Are you Kenyan?
Yes, I try.
Okay, it is indeed Kenya. Our proverbs for the whole of this week will be from the Republic of Kenya. It'll be in Kiswahili, and I'll ask you to interpret it in English, and then perhaps tell us what you think the meaning is. Okay.
My Swahili is amazing, so...
No,
Very
don't
good.
worry, you're in good company.
Okay.
Wow.
Chui hakumbatiwi.
So a chewy is, I'm assuming, a leopard or cheetah. I hope so.
So far, you're doing okay.
Yeah?
Let's keep up with the hope.
Okay.
Hakumbatiwi.
Hakumbatiwi.
Yes,
Okay, that one.
it's a Swahili word.
Mbata umbatiwi.
I said I was doing badly.
Oh, I
I'm
don't
not even
this.
Kenyan.
I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Hey.
These Kenyans are wonderful people.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Brilliant at Swahili. You can
All right,
tell.
all right, all
Yeah.
right, all right. A leopard is not embraced.
All right. Interesting.
You all need to talk to those guys at KWS on Langata Road. Because at the cheetah den, it's chewy.
Cheetah.
At the
Yeah,
cheetah
it's-
den, it's
yeah.
written
The
chewy.
written chewy.
Yes,
See, it's not our fault.
it's not our fault.
Not our fault.
We saw it there. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
we thought.
Okay.
What do you think that proverb is telling us?
The cheetah is, sorry, what? The leopard?
is never embraced, never hugged. You don't hug a leopard.
Well, I think they're solitary creatures, so they're quite independent. So I don't think they would go looking for trouble and danger. They're quite isolated, keeping to themselves. So I think if you go looking for one, it will definitely not embrace you or you embrace it back.
Okay.
Yes.
So leave sleeping leopards sleep.
Yes, please. by all
Let
means.
sleeping leopards lie.
Let them hug it themselves.
We are kindred souls because that's exactly what I said in the morning.
Really?
Let them hug them. They hug
Let them hug each other.
Yeah, let them hug themselves.
You keep off.
Do they have leopards in Nigeria?
We have other things too. Would you like to know? See me behind the tent.
Wanjiru,
Yes.
we saw you on national TV speaking before the 3-judge bench.
Yes.
And this is in the consolidated cases around the impeachment.
Consolidated, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So why were you there?
So I'm just a private citizen. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm obsessed with the Constitution. I think it is one of the most fantastic documents that we have in this day and age. And my co-petitioner is a guy called Dr. Iboso. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it here today. He's also just a layman. He's a doctor. And he managed to get the documents for BBI, read them all the way and went to the Supreme Court and won on public participation. So he's also not a lawyer. So I remember he called me about this Rigathi Gachagua impeachment case. And he's just like, oh, I don't think how they're impeaching Rigathi Gachagua is correct. For me, I'm just like, I don't really particularly care because the shareholder comments is one of the reasons why I was on the protest. I was in the protest in the streets in June. Because I'm just like, you cannot call us a country of shareholders while we are the ones who have employed you. And it's true, they are employees, and then they're telling us that they're the ones who own us. So it's very bizarre. So Dr. Iboso and I had a massive argument, and I told him, there's no way I'm going to defend Rigathi. I think he should absolutely be impeached. And I thought it was actually quite laughable. If you asked me a year ago if I'd be trying to defend freedom of speech for Rigathi, I'd have told you there's absolutely no chance that would happen. So after I read the notice of motion that was passed in the National Assembly, I told him, okay, we have a very, very serious problem here. So the grounds they impeached Rigathi on were impacting freedom of conscience, Article 32.1, and freedom of expression, Article 33. And I thought that was a very slippery slope. It's about he said this, somebody felt like that, and there were no solid grounds of corruption. We agreed with the corruption charges, but when it came to speech, we're just like, if they can silence a deputy president that quickly and that easily, who are the rest of us? Next, they'll come for the judiciary, they'll come for the media, they'll come for the opposition, anybody that speaks out, and it's going to be a very slippery slope. So when I read that, I said, you know what, actually, let's file an application. So he drafted the application, we went through it, we talked about it, and we filed it on the 8th of October, before the impeachment of the National Assembly. And then we were given directions on the 9th of October, and by the time we were being heard, the impeachment process had already passed at the National Assembly. So it was now at the Senate. We got heard on the 16th of October, and on the 17th, our file got passed to the CJ on the 16th of October, and on the 17th, the Senate had now impeached Rigathi Gachagua. So we now found ourselves being in a situation where our application was overtaken by events. And it was really devastating because we're just like, we wanted them to stop at the National Assembly so they could correct the infringement on our rights. Because we remember not long ago, it was even dreaming about the president dying was treason. And we thought this was like an extremely dangerous place to be as the nation of Kenya. It will start with the deputy president, and if they can do it so easily, it will just be an avalanche of our rights being taken away.
So you felt that the impeachment motion was an attempted, it was basically saying we should have gagged Rigathi.
Yes.
He shouldn't have said all the things that he said.
Correct.
But you now as Wanjiru,
yes,
were not happy with the things that Rigathi was saying.
No.
And you were hoping that he doesn't say them.
No, I want him to say them. Stories za jaba tunataka. You know, the jaba is what made us so angry that
but
we
you were
went
out on the streets because he was saying the things that he was saying.
Yes. So we were out on the streets because he was actually illuminating a part of the political process that has been hidden. And I liked how he came to the media and he actually exposed and he said this, Wetangula has 30%, Suju, who else has 30%? And that's the reality of what's happening in our country. There are deals that are being made behind the scenes. So we're just like, we want that freedom of expression so we can be angry with what he says. And the reality is that there are remedies in court. He could have been sued for defamation. Yeah? But the way they were trying to gag him, we're just like, slippery slope. So that was our main concern. We're just like, can you take it back to the National Assembly? Can they impeach him on the actual offendable grounds like corruption? Because we agree on the grounds of corruption. But when it comes to he said, she said, there are legal remedies for that outside the impeachment process.
So what I'm hearing you say is that we seem to have gotten into kind of like the theatre of the absurd.
Yes.
That we are going, and stop me if I'm wrong, that we are going after folks who, and it could be anybody, it could be the former deputy president today, somebody else tomorrow.
Yes.
But that it doesn't matter what it is that they say, that the freedom of speech must be, or is actually guaranteed by the Constitution, and that is what should be protected.
Yes, that's what we were saying. We're saying, however offensive it is, however obscene it is, however absurd it is, let him say it. Let us make a decision ourselves as a country how we feel about those remarks. Because for the reality is, this was not about tribe. We were all so angry at our political class because of comments like that. You know, so they rallied us all behind one single enemy. No, sorry to say enemy, but we literally channeled ourselves and focused on the issue. And the issue was we have a political pandemic. It is not about tribe, it is not about age, it is not about hustler versus dynasty. We have a political pandemic. And it seems to us like they're trying to now silence everybody who's going to speak out against them. So what's going to happen then? We're going to be in a full-on dictatorship. So that was our main plight.
So you went to court.
Yes.
And then your case, your application, plus the others by Rigathi himself and others were then consolidated.
Yes.
And you were heard at the same time.
Okay.
Were you?
No, not really. So what happened is our file was sent to the Chief Justice on the 16th of October. And then the 17th of October, Rigathi was impeached by the Senate. I think he was a little bit heartbroken and he couldn't make it into the Senate to explain himself. So then our file was sent to the Chief Justice. Some application came in from the Attorney General on a Saturday, the 18th of October, which we found very bizarre. And then on Monday, when we go to court, it is Rigathi Gachagwa's lawyers fighting about an application because I think they managed to secure conservatory orders from Chacha Mwite and orders barring Kindiki from being sworn in. So that seemed to be the main focus. So our application, when we went to court on Monday, I think it was the 20th, was not even there. So we were asking the judges, we're just like, what is happening? Because as far as we're concerned, our file was sent to the Chief Justice on Thursday. The bench was created on the 14th, the Monday before, so that all the applications could be heard. Why is our application not in court today? So it was a very interesting process that was happening. So the other side wanted desperately the conservatory orders to be lifted and Kindiki to be sworn in. So the atmosphere in the court was so tense. You could feel it. Even the judges were just like, we have to move this, but they didn't know how to move it. And due process says that everybody should be heard. And we are the first applicants actually who filed, so we should have been heard together. So what ended up happening is the judiciary then came and told us, hey, they told us, come back, let's check on your file. So on Monday evening, we wrote to the Chief Justice. We said, we are not understanding why our file is not in court. Could we please understand? Because the three-judge bench was commissioned to deal with, what's the word they call it? The three-judge bench was, is created for...
Impaneled.
Yes, sorry, that's the word I'm looking for. Yes, it was impaneled to hear all these matters. So then on Tuesday, we come to court and our files are there. And then there's still several other candidates whose files are not being placed in court. So we're trying to understand what's going on. So then there's an application for, I think it was recusal. No. Then the first issue they have to deal with is, how are you guys sitting on a Saturday, which is fair. So all our applications took a backseat so the judiciary could actually explain that. And I told my co-petitioner, I said, the judiciary is going to protect itself. That's what they always do. And that's what they did. Then after that, the process says that they have to now deal with recusal applications, which is what they did. Frankly speaking, I think it was very distasteful when they involved the wives, the spouses of the other people without enough evidence. I believe if you're going to take a shot at the judiciary, don't miss, because they're actually very powerful people. And then after that, then the judges said they're going to give us a ruling, and they said, we're going to hear you guys on the 29th of October, and we protested. We said, why is everybody else being heard on a Thursday? I think Thursday was like the 26th, and we were being told to come the next week on the 29th.
And yet you're the first people
We are the first people, and we are laymen, so we are not lawyers. So technically speaking, we should have been given a little bit of allowance, which we weren't. So the 29th of October came, so then they gave the ruling for the recusal, and before the ruling they gave for the recusal, they said, one, we're going to deal with 2 petitions only on the following Monday. This is on the Tuesday 29th. So they said they're going to deal with the one that was from the Attorney General and the one that was from Rigathi's team, the one for the conservatory orders. And then they gave their ruling, said that they're going to recuse themselves, which they uploaded onto the CTS system 4 days later. So we couldn't really tell what the reasons were for them not recusing themselves. So we get to court on a Tuesday, and I remember discussing this with my co-petitioner over the weekend. I said, we are going to be bulldozed out of this courtroom. And I told him, and if we are not careful, we're not going to get heard. And if we don't get heard, there are a lot of people's lives who have been lost in this process. And our moment will just disappear and it will fade away into history. And that's what happened. So he says, no, let's apply to be interested parties, because in these applications, which is what we did, we applied to be interested parties, but as an interested party, you're not really the main party in the suit, so you don't get as much leeway. So we were only given about 5 minutes each to speak. And in those 5 minutes, I don't think we had ample time to actually deliver the message home that we needed to, because I think Kenyans really needed that moment of pause from our judiciary. It was a beautiful moment that we lost. I think the accumulation of 2007, all the lives lost, to 2024, I think the judiciary owed us a pause as Kenyans. Just to pause and be like,
so you only got 5 minutes.
We only got...
After all this back and forth.
Yes.
You only got 5 minutes in court.
Yes.
Did you exhaust your 5 minutes?
I'm not sure. So I also have a learning disability or ability, which I don't particularly like to use because I think it's not. I feel like it's like a cheat card, but it's really not. I was diagnosed with dyslexia at 14 years old. So sometimes it takes me a longer time to get everything else I want in person. And in court, they have this thing where they knock. Time. Yes. So when I get rushed, sometimes I start rapping because I start speaking really fast. So we feel like we weren't afforded an opportunity. And I believe that Article 1, the reason why it said you can appear directly was for moments like this. Because all the parties on both sides are being paid. We were the only Kenyans who are self-funded, who are just like, wait a minute.
This is not right.
Just stop. Wait a minute. People have died. Wait a minute. What was the point of 2007 if the 2010 Constitution cannot give us pause to think about those actions so we don't repeat them? So it was just truly unfortunate. And we spent the weekend mourning because we could not believe how quickly Kindiki was sworn in. You know, and it's just unfortunate. And it was a beautiful time, and I wish the judiciary had just paused. But unfortunately, we have missed our moment.
Is there no way this thing can be reintroduced again?
For which process? Our application?
Your application.
You see, I think, yes, but the damage is already done. You see, we had an opportunity to stop the train in its tracks, right, before repeating the cycle, because I really believe Kenya is in a test, trial, and tribulation. I think that we keep making the same mistakes, and we keep being presented with the same problems. And I really believe, I think it's not really helpful to us when you tell us we'll give you a remedy after the fact, when our constitution actually provided remedies for us during that particular time. You know, it
But
already
Wajiro,
planned for that.
Wajiro,
Yes.
you said you were going to court.
Yes.
Not necessarily about Rigathi.
Yes.
It was about this and the precedent it's likely to set.
Correct.
So the precedent has been set.
Yes.
You can go and still apply and argue that this was wrong and this should not happen again.
Yes.
That, you know, we should have constitutional safeguards so that if Wanjiru wants to say whatever she wants to say, she has the right to say it.
Yes.
As long as, of course, all the other safeguards are met. You're not offending somebody. Your right ends somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not just a blanket one. But maybe there's an opportunity. Let's take a break. We'll continue this conversation shortly.
Okay.
It's 28 minutes to 10. Our guest this morning is Wanjiru Mwangi. She's an active citizen. She was very much in the streets during the June protests and very much active elsewhere. And she's a rights defender. She got a call from co-petitioner, Dr. Clarence Eboso, who said, you know what, this petition as the motion for impeachment as it's being presented against the deputy president is infringing on his right to speak and the freedom of expression. And they agreed and they went to court. And this is what now we're hearing, the experience through this and what it means. What does it mean for jurisprudence? What does it mean for the Constitution? What does it mean for our judicial system? We'll be back shortly.